All right, here's some breaking news, or potential breaking news. House Republicans may have a deal that will avoid a government shutdown. Joining us now to talk about it, Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry, who is chair of the House Freedom Caucus. Mr. Scott Perry, so as I understand it, the Main Street whatever partnership and the Freedom Caucus, your Freedom Caucus, have banded together and have an interesting deal that would, put in a continuing resolution for another month or so before we get to the rest of the appropriation bills. But you tell me, no shutdown, no shutdown.
Well, I will tell you, we're not really interested in a shutdown, but unfortunately, the folks running this place have squandered most of the summer, and in frustration, we said, well, why don't we just try and figure this out ourselves as members? So we got together with some of these folks and said, can we do 30 days, cut the government 8% during those 30 days, enforce a border policy, and get the border policy for 30 days of cut in funding permanently, get that permanently, and allow us to finish these appropriations bills that we haven't finished all summer and get on with getting the policy right and the spending right. Now, the reason we haven't finished those bills, Larry, you understand Washington, there are plenty of people here that want to spend more and more money. And there are folks like me who won't vote to spend more and more money because we're spending too much on the wrong things. And that's the impasse. We've got to get through that impasse. This 30 days of cutting spending at 8% and securing the border gives us the time to do that. And we think that's a pretty reasonable proposal.
Well, I would tend to agree with you. I'm not in this game. But the fact, I think it's in the weeds and it's boring. But if you can buy time to go through, 12 appropriation bills, if I get that right. That's called regular order. And that's how budgeting should be done. Each one has its own categories. Instead of lumping them in to another omnibus bill that has Ukraine spending, Maui spending, and Lord knows what else spending. So that's one of the reasons. I don't know all the details here, but what you're saying, what I read over the weekend sounds awfully good to me. How's leadership taken this?
Well, leadership is in support of it, even though it wasn't their plan. They're in support of it, and they don't want to be in a corner any more than the rest of us do. So we think that securing the border and cutting 8% funding during this 30 days is something most Americans would support, and it gives us some time to get these appropriations bills right. Understand, Larry, we don't want to be paying for a border that's wide open. We don't want to be paying for a Department of Justice that is persecuting American citizens for their political beliefs. The way to be able to fix those things is to make sure that we get the appropriations bills right, and this is an opportunity to do that. So that's why we're considering this proposal.
Scott Perry, a little birdie told me, actually emailed me, that our friend Budget Chairman Jody Arrington is coming up with, heaven forbid, a balanced budget in 10 years without any tax hikes. I know this is a concept, it's not a reality, but I didn't know if the little birdie mentioned it to you either.
Well, the little birdie didn't mention it to me, but I have spoken to the budget chairman, and it has been his intent since being the chairman to bring out a balanced budget, a budget that balances in 10 years. America supports it. Americans every single day, Larry, as you know, balance their budget at home. If what's going out exceeds what's coming in, they've got to make a change. Either you got to bring more in or you got to quit sending less out. And that's what we need to do in Washington, D.C. What we do in Washington, D.C. is destroying the home economic plan. People can't afford their electricity bill, gasoline, groceries. The very staples of life are becoming unaffordable because we refuse to budget correctly in Washington, D.C.
And finally, Ms. Scott Perry, this one was more than a little birdie, but I'm reading that House Speaker McCarthy, this is the exact quote, predicts Trump will be the party's 2024 nominee and says Governor DeSantis isn't even on the same level. If you don't want to comment on this, I can understand. But Kevin McCarthy says Trump's going to get the nod. What you think?
Well, if you look at all the early polling results, the former president is way ahead of everybody else. Of course, we respect and love the other people that are in the race. It's great to have a contest. but we need a known quantity. We know what this president can do. You know what he can do. The American people know what he can do. And goodness gracious, do we sure need some of that right now? Like I said, people can't afford their electricity bill, their grocery bill, their gas bill. Just 3 short years ago, those weren't even considerations, let alone everything else that has occurred. So we need the president to be back in the White House, and I think President Trump is the guy that's going to do that.
You know, Scott Perry, I think, we're talking about the Trump interview on NBC. I think middle-class working folks need a little love. They need a little love, and I think they'll get more love from Mr. Trump. That's just the way it seems to be stacking up. Anyway, I hope you can avoid a shutdown and get your budget plan through. Scott Perry, House Freedom Caucus, thank you, sir, as always.
Thank you, Larry. God bless you.
You betcha.